How's it going? This is Hoiman, and today we're taking a look at the S.H.Figuarts Ran Mori figure. So you have a nice window display to see the figure, and you have a nice pink color scheme for the packaging. And then onto the side you can see the different face expressions that the figure comes with. And then the other side you have a nice silhouette. With the top you can see a bit more into the figure, and I do like how the cutout of the box from the window is quite unique. Has a very nice brickwork feeling to it. And then the bottom you have some legal stuff, and then the back has various pictures of the figure. And then to open the box you just simply lift open the side flap, and then you pull out the figure like so. So first you do get some instructions showing what the figure comes with and how to operate the accessories. Very self-explanatory. And then to open the figure you just lift open the front cover. And there we have the figure all together with its accessories. So here's the actual figure itself, and I think overall this figure is okay. Like, the sculpt is good, it's really accurate to how the character appears in the show, but I don't know, I just find this overall design a bit bland overall. But again, it is accurate to how she appears in the show. And for the most part, all the sculpt is very nice and clean. You can see all the folds and creases in her uniform. Makes it look very realistic. Down to her socks, has some nice texturing and folds, and then her shoes are nice glossy finish. And it just looks pretty nice overall. And then moving on to the hair, it's very nicely sculpted. You can see all the strands, and it has a lot of wind blowing effect to it. So it looks really nice overall, but it is a very solid piece. But the tips are a slightly softer material, but for the most part it's a pretty solid piece. But it's not too heavy that it really interrupts with the head articulation. And moving on to her face, I think it does look accurate to the character, but I don't know, something just seems a little bit off. Like, I'm not sure if her face is a bit too wide or not, but other than that, it's still a very nice sculpt and is a pretty good representation of the character. And then in terms of paintwork, there's very little. Like, all the uniform is sculpted in a blue coloured material, and then the only paintwork really is the shirt and the green tie, the sleeves, which unfortunately on mine is a bit of a paint bleed on there. It's not that clean on both sleeves. And then the socks themselves are painted as well. So there's very little paintwork, and I'm not really sure why the sleeves are not that clean, but in terms of the rest of the paint for the rest of the body, it's pretty clean. So for articulation, the neck is on a double ball joint, so she can look down that much, and then she can't really look up too much because the hair really impedes the motion. But she can tilt side to side and also twist. And then the shoulder is on a ball joint, and there's a separate piece in there that cups around the joint. So you can move her arm however you want. And then it's also on hinge, so you can bring her arm out to the side, and you can go forward and then back as well, and then it can also swivel. And then her elbows are single jointed, but you get a lot of range of motion. And then her wrists, similar to Conan's, are on a ball joint, but they are on a peg. So you still get all the range of motion for the wrist, but because it's a peg, it's easy to swap out the hands, which I do appreciate because the joints are really small, so you don't have to worry about them breaking. And then for the torso, it seems to be on a double ball joint, so you can lean forward about that much, and then you can lean back about that much, not really a whole lot. And then you can lean side to side, and then also twist. And then this piece of her uniform is a softer material, same with the skirt, and it's actually in 3 different pieces as well for the skirt, so it really doesn't hinder any of her leg articulation, which are on ball joints for her hips, so you can really bring out her leg to the side, and then the skirt looks really natural as it comes along with it. And then you can also kick forward about that much, and then kick back that much as well, and then you can swivel around that ball joint. And then her knees are on a single joint, but you do get a lot of range of motion. And then her ankle is on a kind of ball jointed hinge, so you can go back that much, go forward that much, and then you can tilt side to side as well as swivel. And then you do get the toe hinge as well. So all in all, she does have all the articulation you'd expect a Figuarts figure to have, and because of her more simple design, not really any of the articulation is limited in any way. I think the only limitation is the hair on the back and maybe the torso, since there isn't really that much movement you can get. But other than that, you should be fine with all the poses you want to do. That's the figure. Let's take a look at the accessories. So for faces, she comes with a default smiling face. She comes with an open mouth smiling face. And then finally she comes with a sort of angry expression looking to her side. And then for hands, she comes with a pair of open palmed hands, 2 fists, and then lastly 2 chopping hands. So my final thoughts on the figure. She is an accurate representation, but like I already said, I find her design in terms of making the character into a figure, it's a bit bland. Like, it feels a bit generic to just be like a school uniform, but I know that is how she appears, but I don't know, it just feels a bit bland, and she doesn't come with much accessories either. So it's just a few faces and hands, and because she's a similar price point of a regular Figuarts, it's very underwhelming in terms of accessories she comes with. Like, I think it would have been nice to get a few more faces, a few more expressions, and maybe a handbag that she usually likes to carry in the show. But as of this video, I think the price hasn't really changed all that much since her release. So I think overall you should be fine if you want to get this figure for a good price. But like I already said, I find the design a bit bland and she doesn't come with a whole lot of accessories, so that can be a bit underwhelming for people. But again, I do think it's a good representation of the character. And overall it is a solid figure, but it's just the lack of accessories and design, I think. But that's my review. Thank you for watching and enjoy some pictures.